Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio. This is your home for underground Bible study. Yes, it's free of MSG, it's free of GMOs, it's got all kinds of good stuff in it. We take time to bake this one right. And today we're looking in Psalm 120, and I'm going to be reading from verses 5 and 6. Get out your GPSs because we're going to have to find our way to Jerusalem. We're beginning the Ascent Psalms, and now we find out where we're beginning. We're beginning a very long ways away from Jerusalem. The psalmist here gives us a point on the map, actually 2 points. They're very far away from one another, but they illustrate the distance that he is willing to go to find his way back to the Lord. Notice verse 5. Woe is me, for I sojourn in Meshech. I abide in the tents of Kedar. Too long has my soul dwelled there, and with those who hate peace. Now we come to verses 5 and 6 today, and I said that you want to get out your GPSs. Notice we're in Meshech and the tents of Kedar. Meshech is north of the land of Israel. It's all the way up by the Caucasus Mountains. So it's a long ways off and in the wrong direction. And the tents of Kedar is a son of Ishmael. He's living down in the Arabian Peninsula. So he's way down in Sinai. So this is south of the people where the land of Israel is in Canaan. So you have a location to the south and you have a location to the north. And he says, I sojourn there. And notice he pronounces upon himself a woe. Woe is me, for I dwell amongst, or I sojourn in Meshech. I abide in the tents of Kedar. So it's not that he's actually living in those places, but he's so far away from his home in Jerusalem, and he so desires to get back there, that he says, that's what I feel like I'm living in. Now, this is probably, as I said, written from a perspective of some Jewish person, a psalmist who lived far away and who is coming back to the Lord, part of the caravans that come 3 times a year. And so Meshech and Kedar are just figurative. They express for us the distance spiritually that this heart has from his God. It also tells us something about the nature of the tongue and the speech. Remember, we had the speech of falsehood, the tongue of treachery. And the tongue of treachery, oh, what a wicked thing that is. Sharp arrows of the mighty and coals of the broom plant. Just never goes out. So it's not only that he's having to listen to all this talk, but he's living amongst this talk. The people around him, they show no respect for the things of God. And he says in verse 6, too long has my soul dwelled there. Yes, amen. Too long have I had to live amongst those whose speech is corrupt and polluted. Too long have I had to listen to hatefulness all the time. So long have I had to listen to this speech that is not peaceful. And notice that he says, I am with those who hate peace. The hating of peace is a symbol of those who are outside of covenant with God. So we understand now the tongue of treachery and the speech of falsehood, because these people they're not in covenant. These are not your covenant folks. They don't love the Lord. If they loved the Lord, they would love peace. But they don't know peace because they don't know Him. So that's where I'm living now. I'm getting ready to come back to the Lord. I've programmed my GPS. But I'm living so far out, folks, you can't get a radar fix on me. And I'm living with people who don't know anything about the God that I worship or serve. I'm living in their tents or beside their tents. Not actually in their tents, because that would affect me. No, I'm pronouncing a woe on myself because I have to be around it all the time. And so the desire is to come back. And this is how we begin our trek in the Ascent Psalms. Join me tomorrow. We're going to read verse 7, and I hope you'll be here for that one. It's going to be good on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.